Hi, this is Shed from Shed All Over the Page. This is Penny Part 2. In the earlier video, I was talking about the fact that President told Scott Bessent, who's over Treasury, to stop producing the penny because the cost of the penny was 3.67 cents to produce 1 penny. And that's the executive branch saying stop producing the money. And because they're stopping to produce the money, the end result is on us as the consumers, the citizens of the United States. We're having to pay an increased cost because they're rounding up. Well, that becomes a tax. All right. Well, the only people that can tax is the legislative branch. They're the ones that coin money and they tax. So it's outside of the realm of the executive branch. So where I have, like I said, I have a problem with this is I'll give you an example. Why I have a problem with this is compulsory. So you don't have a choice. That's what makes it a tax. It's compulsory. You don't have a choice. Uncle Sam says you're going to do it. In Tennessee here, they're already passing bills to round things up, and it's amazing how fast people caved on this thing. Somebody point out what the rules are and make them follow the rules. I don't know why people don't want to follow the rules anymore, but they need to follow the rules. Because here's a prime example. I go to, let's say, a little place and they have individual pieces of gum and it's 5 cents. Well, then let's say Tennessee adds a penny. Now it's 6 cents. And then the vendor rounds it up to a dime. That's a 66% increase in the cost of that product because of the stopped production of the penny. And I have an issue with that. I pointed out earlier, we lost at least 900 billion pennies in Minnesota. And if they can just wastefully do that, they can wastefully make the pennies for us. Because that's not where they're going to save the money that's going to get us out of this trillions of dollars of debts, cutting the pennies loose. My question, I asked Tim Burchett's office, called them again, asked him to call me back. He's my representative. He has a job to do. And I asked him to contact the Treasury Department and ask this question. How much would it cost to make pennies like they did in World War II? In World War II, the penny was 97.5% copper, like 2.5% zinc. And they needed back then copper for bullets and wiring and everything else. So they went to a zinc-coated metal. And that's what they did for several years during World War II. Well, can they go back to zinc-coated metal? I don't care how the penny's made. Just make the penny. So I asked him to find out how much that was. They can put the penny back in play. And that's what I would like them to do. So that's kind of my answer to the question. The reason it's a tax is because it's compulsory. And before we get rid of the penny, can we come up with other options first before we cut it loose? Because I'm starting to wonder, are they playing chess? And all of us are out here playing checkers and we're missing a few checker pieces? Because I'm starting to realize that they're pushing towards digital currency. Because what happens, the digital currency will be accurate. It won't be rounded up. It won't be rounded down. But how many people have got credit cards that's got 40% interest rates? I mean, the mob is like, oh, we can give you a 35, and they're sitting out here charging 40% interest rates on these credit cards. And they make money on both sides. They charge the vendor money and they charge us money. So that's kind of a problem. I want to be able to have some cash, at least in my lifetime. So this is Shed, off the page.